There we go. We are going to talk with Councilperson Jessica Piper today. Ms. Piper is a part of our local government. Okay, so she is in charge of a local area of Indiana, and she's going to talk with us today about her job and why she wanted to have that job and what she does during her day. And we're going to get the opportunity to ask her some questions. Okay, so it's going to be very exciting, very interactive. Today, we're going to get ourselves ready by planning some questions that we could ask her today. All right. So we need to get to it because at 9 o'clock, we have to be on Miss Sharp's Zoom, because Miss Sharp's Zoom is where Councilperson Jessica Piper is going to be. Okay. So we have 25 minutes to get ourselves ready and to get to that interview. Okay. All right. So to get started, we're going to review local government. We've spent a lot of time this week focusing on the leaders of the area, such as mayor and governors and the president. But today we are going to take a look more specifically at what happens in the government around our cities. Okay. So we will watch this and then we're going to read a bit about council persons, and then we will plan some questions that we can ask her. Okay. So here we go. Oh, I got to share my sound. I always forget. Boop, boop, boop. There it is.
The mayor's coming to talk to students. But, Moby, it's important to be involved in our local government. What is a local government? A government is a group of people that sets rules and runs a community. Right, Moby. We have a student government that helps improve our school. When something is local, it belongs to a certain area, like a town or city. The local government can do a ton of stuff for a community. It can run schools, libraries, and parks. It can also organize public transportation, like buses and subways, keep streets clean, and provide services to keep people safe. The local government also passes laws to keep everyone safe. You're right. It takes a lot of work to run a community. People and businesses pay taxes to help pay for all the services. A tax is a fee paid to the government. Who leads the local government? That's the mayor, Moby. The mayor is an elected leader of a town or city. People learn about concerns in their communities, and they vote for the person they think will make the best mayor. The mayor has an important job. The mayor solves problems in the community. Many cities and towns also elect people to a council.
So this council that she's getting ready to talk about is what we are going to meet today. We're going to meet Councilperson Jessica Piper, okay? And this is what she does.
A council is a group of leaders that makes laws and helps run the community. The mayor and the council work together to make sure the community runs smoothly. They can also work with the county government. A county is a group of communities near each other in a state. Each county can have local elected leaders who can work with the state government. But what does the state government do? Each state has its own government that sets laws. Leaders from communities all over the state meet in the state capitol. They write and vote on laws to pass on to the governor. The governor is an elected leader of the state government. One of the governor's jobs is to decide what state laws to approve. State governments also have judges who decide if those laws agree with the state and national constitution. The state government decides how to spend the state budget or money for the year. Well, the state government can spend money on protecting the state's land and water, building roads that connect communities across the state, running state colleges and universities, and state hospitals too. The state government also sets laws that keep people safe. Well, in our state you have to wear a helmet to ride a bike if you're under 14. But in other states, you've got to wear one if you're under 18. Different states can have different laws. Anyway, Moby, you should meet the mayor and tell her how to improve our community. You want a subway that goes to the moon? I'm not sure the mayor can do that, Moby.
All right. So today we are going to read and get ready for our interview. So I'm going to ask you to click on activities on Seesaw. On your activities, you will see questions for our special visitor Friday. Today is Friday, so we are going to come up with questions that we can ask Councilperson Jessica Piper about her job, about the things that she does, about how she was elected, etc. Okay. It says, with your teacher, watch the Brain Pop Junior video. We've done that. We're going to read about a council member's job now. Okay, so the text that we're going to read is in the add response. So go ahead and click on your add response button. Again, slide 1 is that video we just watched. Go ahead and go to slide 2, and you're going to see information about a council person. I'm going to read this to you, and as I'm reading it to you, I'm going to ask you to highlight information that you would like to know more about. Okay? So if you see something that you think is interesting or confusing or that you would like to know more about, grab your highlighter and highlight that section of text. That way you can remember what you want to ask Councilperson Jessica Piper. Okay? So get your highlighter ready. Get it on one of your favorite colors. I'm not going to be highlighting because you guys are the ones doing the interview today. So you're going to highlight stuff that you find interesting or questions that or information you'd like to know more about. Okay? So you are highlighting. All right, we're going to read slide 2. The job of a council member. A city council person or alderman, that's another name for the job, is an elected member of a municipal legislature. He or she is responsible for representing the needs of his or her district or ward in local government, just as a congressman represents his constituents on the federal court. So what that is telling us is that Congress people and council members don't just get on there and make whatever law they want. It says that they have to represent the needs of the community. So they have to listen to what people in the community want and then represent that well. Okay, let's keep going. A city council enacts laws and promotes the safety of its citizens. And a city council person works to ensure that his or her district's residents are treated fairly by these policies. Okay, so they create laws and make sure that those laws are fair and that they are helpful to the people in the community. Okay, go ahead and highlight one piece of information from this text that you find interesting or that you have a question about. If you did not already, go ahead and highlight one.
Do we have to ask her these exact questions?
So you're going to get on slide 6, you're going to have an opportunity to write down the questions that you have. But your questions, you want to get them from the information that we know about our council person, right? We don't want to ask her, what's your favorite color? Because that doesn't have anything to do with her job. So we want to make sure that we're on our topic, okay? All right, let's go to slide 3. This is about how she gets to run for her job or to enter the election process. Just like we found out this week that the president has to be 35 and mayors have to live in their cities, there are also requirements or things that council persons have to do as well. So slide 3, have your highlighter ready. And again, highlight one piece of information that you find interesting or would like more information about. Residency requirements vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, but most involve having lived in the district for at least a year and also being a registered voter there. Okay, so if you want to be a council person, you have to live in that community for a year and you have to be able to vote in that community. You will need to file a nomination petition and a petition of financial interest and other legal documents and affidavits by certain deadlines. That basically means there is a lot of paperwork. So if you want to get in the election, if you want to have your name on the ballot for people to vote for, you got to do a lot of paperwork. You may need to hold fundraisers to finance your campaign and any paid staff your campaign will need. So when you see on television commercials, vote for me, they got to pay for that. When you see signs on the side of roads or in front of buildings that say, me for council person, me for mayor, they got to pay for those. Okay, so they've got to raise funds as well. Okay, so go ahead and highlight that one piece of information that you would like to ask a question about. All right, 2 more to read. We're making good time. We got 13 minutes until Miss Council Person Jessica Piper is ready for us. So we got to get our slides read and our question identified. All righty, slide 4. Again, you're going to highlight one piece of information that you find interesting or that you have a question about. Most city council members represent only one district, but there are members at large who are elected by all the city's voters who will represent the needs of the city as a whole. So again, this phrase, represent the needs, is very important, okay? So let's say that Josh and I are in a community, okay? So Josh and I live together in a community. And Josh and I say, hey, we think that we need a playground on Sunnyside. Okay, Josh and I say, hey, we want a playground on Sunnyside. Josh says, as a kid, I want a place to play. I say, as a teacher, I think kids should have places to play. Councilperson Jessica Piper, can you make us a playground? Okay. Jessica Piper is not going to walk into Congress and say, we're going to put a shopping mall on Sunnyside, because Josh and I don't want a shopping mall, right? Josh and I said, we want a playground. So she's going to go to the governor and she's going to say, hey, we'd like to put a playground here because that's what my people want. And she's going to try to get that for us. Okay. So she's not in there saying, ooh, I think a shopping mall would be cool. I have power. I'm going to make a shopping mall. That's fun. Right. She's doing what the community wants her to do. So that's what that means by represent the needs. Okay. She listens to what people who live there think, and then she tries to get that done for them. Okay, let's keep going. A city council person can expect to work with the municipal budget, shifting tax revenue, ooh, she works with taxes, to the places in the city that need it most. For instance, repairing potholes and street signs are common requests that a council member will seek to fulfill. Okay, So all that road work that you see, that's because council persons say, hey, we need to fix the roads. He will also participate in tax appropriation, creating the budget, imposing the tax, and appointing the city manager. So they work a lot with the dollar bills, y'all. Money. Okay. Again, make sure you've highlighted one thing you have a question about or you find interesting. All right, let's go to slide 5. Last one we're going to read. Other responsibilities of the role. So this is other jobs that council persons have. A city council person is a tireless advocate for his district. He will respond to constituent requests. Raise your hand. You're a constituent. So that's a really fancy word, constituent. You are one because you live in a community and you have a council person. So that means you're a constituent. I'm a constituent, okay? Like the development of more green space or the improvement of sidewalks. In the event of a natural disaster, he will seek tax revenue to make repairs. So if we ever had a tornado, our council person would be the one to get money to help fix the buildings, to help get people food, to help get people water, to make sure that the roads are better. So that's important as well. In case of criminal activity, he will seek more police for his district. Depending on the scope of a council member's influence, he may approve zoning laws and other building code issues. Whenever a citizen is concerned about potholes or excessive park litter, the first point of contact is the local council member. So when there's problems in the community, the council person is who you go to, okay? Whether those problems are potholes or litter or building issues, like maybe the bricks are crumbling or it's not safe or it doesn't have water, okay? So there's a lot of information there. Again, highlight one that you find interesting or that you have a question about. Highlight one piece of information on slide 5. All right. Slide 6, this is where we're going to write down our questions. So get your text box ready. Start writing down some questions that you would like to ask Councilperson Jessica Piper. Using your hand emoji, does anyone have a question that they would like to share? Anybody have a question they'd like to ask? Miss Leah, go ahead.
How hard is her job?
How hard is your job? All right. Remember, use that hand emoji. Write down your questions on your slide. Terrence, question.
How did you get your job?
How did you get your job? Right? So we know that she got voted in, she got elected, but how? How were you elected? Okay, so what did she have to do to make sure that people voted for her? Good. Aiden G, what's your question?
Why do you pay taxes for people?
All right, so why, and I'm going to change people to community. Why do you pay taxes for your community? Great. Terrence, question.
Why do the local government help the community to make it better?
Why does the local government help the community to make it better? Awesome. Josh.
How do you earn money to pay for stuff?
How do you earn money to pay for stuff? And Josh, are you talking about stuff in the community or stuff like for her election? What do you want to know about?
Like
How do you pay for money?
Terrence, remember, we're going one by one. Josh, go ahead.
for the community?
Okay. To pay for stuff for the community. Awesome. Let's see. Steve Rogers, do you have a question?
I wrote down one.
You wrote down one? Okay. A question that I had was, how do you stay in touch with what your people want? Right? So it says that she represents our needs. If I'm sitting at home on my couch in the middle of a pandemic, how does she know what I want? Right? How does she know what I need? So that's my question. How do you stay in touch with what your people need? And again, you guys do not have to type all of the questions that I'm typing. So don't feel like you're behind. You're not. This is just a place for you to write your questions. So if you see a question that you think sounds interesting, go ahead and write that. That's fine, but you don't have to type all the same questions that I'm typing. Okay? Anybody else have questions? Leah.
How hard is her job?
Awesome. So that right here is Josh. How hard is your job? We got that one on there. So you think that one too? Josh?
No, I just got to put my thing down.
Gotcha. Okay. Aiden G, another question?
What do you need
Why do you what?
to help the people?
Aiden, you are choppy roboting, so I'm going to have you type it in the chat and then we'll put it on here. There we go. Type it to me. There we go. Oh, Leah, you wanted to say something else? Go ahead. What's up?
What is it like doing that job?
Say it again.
What is it like doing the job?
What is a day in your job like? Yeah, it sounds like they do so many different things. So what is a day in your job like, right? Elijah, a question?
How tend to be contacted?
Nice. How can you be contacted? So how can we get in touch with you? If I have a need or if I want something to change, how do I tell you about it? That's a great question. All righty. Aiden Hampton.
How was your community?
Oh yeah, just check in on her. How's your community doing? How is your community doing? Nice. Yep. So she's got to know that, right? That's her job, to know if they're doing okay or if they're struggling. She's got to know that information. All right, guys, we only have 3 more minutes. Okay. So now we've got to identify a question that we would like to ask her, because we can only ask her one question. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. Look at the questions that we have here. How is your community doing? How hard is your job? Why do you pay taxes for your community? How do you earn money to pay for the stuff for the community? What is a day in your job like? How do you stay in touch with what your people need? Why does the local government help the community make it better? How did you get your job? How were you elected? And how can you be contacted? Okay, look at those questions. Which one would you like to have answered? And hold on, I told Aiden, why do you work for the community? I'm going to put that one here. Where is it? Where was it? Why does local government help the community? Aiden, we'll put that one with that, okay? All right, you're going to raise your hand physically like this, not with the emoji. You're going to raise your hand like this for the one question that you want to ask, okay? I'm going to write down how many votes each question gets, and the one that has the most votes will be the one that we ask, okay? All right, so get your hands ready. When I go to your question, you'll raise your hand, all right? Okay, hands down. If you would like to ask, how is your community doing? Raise your hand. Okay, that's not our favorite question. How hard is your job? If you would like to ask her that, raise your hand. Okay, 1 vote. If you would like to ask, why do you pay taxes for your community? Raise your hand. 2 votes. How do you earn money to pay for stuff for the community? If you want to ask that, raise your hand. How do you earn money? 2 votes there. What is a day in your job like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 votes for that one. Okay. How can you be contacted? If you would like to ask, how can you be contacted? 1 vote there. How did you get your job, or how were you elected? If you'd like to ask that one. 1, 2, 2 votes. Why does the local government help the community make it better? Why does the local government help the community make it better? Okay, none there. And how do you stay in touch with what your people need? How do you stay in touch with what your people need? One vote there. Okay, so this is our question. What is a day in your job like? Okay, what is a day in your job like?
Because I raised my hand on that one too.
Awesome. All right, what is a day in your job like is the question that we are going to ask. Who was it that asked this question? Was
Me?
Okay, so, well, I see 7 of you. Okay. All right, Leah, let's do this. We just had a woman vice president sworn in. All right, so let's go with lady. Miss Jessica Piper's a lady. Let's hear from the girls today. All right, so Leah, you're going to ask this question to councilperson Jessica Piper. What is a day in your job like? We're hearing from the girls, okay? All right, guys, you're getting ready to get on that Zoom. We're a minute late, so we got to get there quick. Here's how you're going to get there. In your activities, let me actually switch it. There is a new activity for you. Okay, it's going to be councilperson Jessica Piper, and I got to change the time that this comes to you. So hold on, let me get it out there now. More options. There we go. Edit. All right, there we go. Check, save. Okay, in activities, click it to refresh. You will see council member Jessica Piper. Here is the Zoom. Okay, I'm also going to send this link out to you on Dino. I will also put it in the chat right here. Okay, you're going to go to this Zoom, and that is where the interview is. I'm going to close this Zoom down. Okay, so there's the link. I'll send it on Dino as well. I will see you there in 30 seconds. All right, go click on that Zoom link on the activity right there. Special interview. All right, see you there. Bye. All righty, what is something that you learned or something that you found interesting during that interview? Justin, what's something you learned or something you found interesting?
When we was in the Zoom, she had said she stayed on the phone at 11:30 at night, and like her dog was really busy, and like she didn't get like enough time to like sleep probably.
Yeah, so
And
she
like get it back up.
absolutely, she sacrifices a lot of her time for this job. So she has a full-time job because being a council person doesn't give her enough money to be able to live off of that. So she's got to have 2 jobs in order to do this. So that elected official has 2 jobs. That was interesting. Christopher, what's something that you learned?
She stayed on the phone like 6 hours.
Yeah, so I know one of our questions that we had come up with in our brainstorming session was, how do you stay in touch with what the community needs? And it sounds like she listens to them on phone conversations. She spent a long time, 6 hours in one day. That is 1/4 of a whole day on the phone. It's a long time, okay? Terrence, what's something interesting that you learned?
That she worked for 16 years.
Yeah, so she had been with the company for 16 years, and this is now going into her 5th year as a council person. So she's been working 2 jobs and giving a lot of her time for her community for a very long time. Awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today you have an assignment that is part 1 of 2. We're going to work on day 1 today, okay? It's the assignment that had the Zoom link, and it says day 1. We already listened to Councilmember Piper discuss her duties and responsibilities, and we listened to why she participates in government. Independently, you're going to write a paragraph answering the question, why do people participate in government? Okay, so that's what we've been studying for quite some time. Why do we need the government? Why do we participate in it? Okay, think about what we have learned over the past 2 weeks and about what you have learned from Councilmember Piper. You're going to click the add response and you're going to think about everything you've learned the past 2 weeks from the interview with Ms. Piper. On slide 1, you're going to type a list of thoughts and ideas to answer, why do people participate in government? Then we're going to take a look at the rubric on slide 2 for how you'll be graded, and then you'll start typing your paragraph, okay? So go ahead, if you would, please, and go and open up that seesaw activity. Braden, I sent it back to you because you turned it in blank, kiddo. Okay, so I sent that back to you so you have it ready to go. All right, so we're going to click on Add Response and click on that sample student.
We click on sample student.
No, sorry, you're right. I do. You guys click on your name. All right, type a list of your ideas to answer this question. Why do people participate in government? So I know that one reason people participate in government is to use the goods and services the government provides. Right? One of the reasons that I am fine with paying taxes is because I use the sidewalks, right? I've used city buses. I need clean water. And those are goods and services that the government provides for me. So that's one reason that I participate in government. Go ahead and use that hand raise emoji if you have an idea for why people participate in government. Why do people get involved in their government? Aiden G?
I was just trying to ask, can you send that Zoom link to my computer because I'm on my phone right now?
What Zoom link?
The Zoom link to this meeting because I'm on my phone right now listening to you doing the assignment.
It's just our regular Zoom link, bub. So just the regular way you log into Zoom. Why do people participate in government?
Because it's fun to do.
Okay, yeah, there's some enjoyment out of it. People enjoy it, right? We listened to Councilperson Piper. She definitely enjoys being involved in government. She shared about how her and her dad had great conversations about it. She enjoys it. What about voting? Voting is part of the government participation. Why do people do that? Why do people vote?
Because then they could get like if you didn't vote, then nobody would be in charge.
Yeah, so it helps us determine who's going to be in charge, right? So voting for who you believe in, right? The rights that you believe in, that you think are important, that's a reason that you can vote. Other reasons that we participate in government. Come on, guys, we've been talking for 2 weeks now. Why do we get involved in government? Why do we need to know about the people that we're elected with? Why do we need to write to them? Why do we need to tell them what we think? Why do we do that? Josh?
The government helps us stay safe.
Yeah, it helps us stay safe, right? we got to let the government know things that we need to help us stay safe. Right now, a great example of how the government is trying to help keep people safe is by making the vaccine for COVID-19 free, right? The government has decided that they're going to pay for that during this time. So they're helping to keep your body safe from illness. That's one way that they're trying to help. So keep people safe. What's another function of that government? It keeps people safe. And what does it do with us? You're scaring me, people. It helps us work together. So helps people work together. Okay? So the government helps keep us safe and helps people work together. Those are reasons that we participate in government. If you have other reasons, you can absolutely add them. It is totally fine to add more reasons to your list there, okay? Give you a few minutes to finish typing those up. All right. Today, you are going to write a paragraph. That means 4 to 6 sentences about this question. Why do people participate in government? So this is your opportunity to show everything that you've learned about government and why we should be involved in it, okay? So slide 2 is going to show you how you're going to be graded. The rubric on slide 2 tells you how to get an A+, right? You want to aim for the 4s. So you want to explain the purpose of government. You want to tell at least 2 goods and services that the government provides. You want to explain a reason that people participate in government, okay? So why do we have the government? What are some goods and services it provides? And why do people participate in it? Okay. The bottom part of the rubric is all about your grammar. Do you have capital letters? Do your sentences make sense? Have you added periods and punctuation? Okay. And you're going to grade for that as well. You will type your paragraph on slide 3. This is where you will add a text box and type your paragraph. Okay. So right here, this is where your work is going to go on slide 3. Then you will see it says stop. This is going to be for Monday. So you are only doing slides 1, 2, and 3 today. Okay. So you're going to type a paragraph again that explains the purpose of government, that tells 2 goods and services the government provides, and that explains a reason people participate in the government. That is your task for today. All right. And when you are done, you can hit the check to save it, or you can turn it in and I can return it to you, whichever you feel most comfortable with. But you want to make sure that you have a full paragraph, 4 to 6 sentences on slide 3 by the end of the day today. All right, kiddos, that is your assignment.